Hello guys, how are you doing? I hope everything's fine with you. And yeah, we are almost here in December, last month of the year. As you know, in general I would say it's kind of slow month in the market. But yeah, maybe let's start with this. Yeah, so I have said before that December is quite a specific month, right? What do I mean by that? We need to keep in mind a couple of things. Number one, we might see still some movement happening in the market in the first 2 weeks, but later on in the last 2 weeks of December, and I would say maybe first 10 days of January, there is almost nothing is happening there. Yeah. And what I mean by that is simply like most of the banks and financial institutions are not working, right? They are not participating in the market because of the holiday season, right? We talk about this holiday season, it's in US and in Europe as well. Number two, we still might see some big um, movement happening in the market, and it's quite strong movement. Why? This is because, let's say, some of the banks, right, are simply participating in the market while all these big whales are in holidays, right? And because of this, some of these banks or financial institutions, okay, let's say level two, not the level one, not the biggest ones. So if we talk about the level two, right? Level two financial institutions participating in the market, and they have the power to push certain currencies or certain, let's say, pairs to some desired levels they would like to push the price to, right? And that's why you might see some big movements happening in there, okay? And I would say if you are not experienced enough as a trader, and if you didn't trade before in December, so I would definitely advise you to step away and take this time to just relax, or spend some time with beloved ones, or maybe to just like to start to look at everything you have done in 2023, and also maybe do some back testing, or even you can trade in December using some demo account, right? Why not? Yeah. But yeah, as I said, if you are not experienced trader, if you didn't trade December before, so definitely I will tell you to step away from the charts, from the market in December, and also first, let's say, 2 weeks of January. Yeah, for the reasons I have just mentioned. One more thing as well to keep in mind, but this is more related to the stock market, but somehow it kind of influences the DXY, and therefore it might influence the rest of the market, which is it's more related to tax purposes. What I mean by that is, let's say if you are a big company, a big, I don't know, hedge fund company or big financial institution where simply you manage large portfolios, and let's say you have shares in 10 different companies, right? Five of these, how to say, big, I don't know, profitable companies in your portfolio for this year are doing a crazy profits, right? And five are simply underperforming or simply are in losses. So what some of these companies do is they close their losing positions, with just losses, in order later on to just do kind of some compromise on taxes, right? Because as far as you didn't close the position in profit, okay, it's not profit. That's why um, on your platform, whatever you're using, MT4, MT5, or CTrader, you always see these numbers, whatever you are in profit or in loss. It's called unrealized profits or losses. So whatever the number is there, as far as you didn't close it, it's not realized yet. as a profit or as a loss. Therefore, those big companies, as I said, they might have like 10 10 different shares, I mean, in different companies, so they have shares in 10 different companies. 5 of these companies have a crazy profits, but they didn't close the positions yet, right? And they have another 5 companies which is they are losing. So what they do, they close the losing ones, so in order to compromise with the taxes, right? So this is already realized losses, okay? And they do this game with the taxes, so they don't pay taxes, right? And they set themselves even in better position for next year. And once they finish this taxes topic, they then go again and buy these shares which is a sold, right? Even they buy it in lower price if it's possible. So this is one more thing to keep in mind. Last thing to keep in mind in December, like December is definitely is in Q4, and Q4 is one of the strongest quarters for most of companies, especially when it comes to sales. Like, if we talk about, let's say, social media, right? So YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Google, whatever. So even if you look, if you are a company and you are running campaigns, right, the price of campaigns is almost double, right, the normal price for any other month. So in December you pay double the price you pay for any other month. Why? Because most of people in December, they go and buy a lot of products as a presents or even for themselves, because there are a lot of discounts, like there is Christmas holidays and all these kind of things. So in general, most of companies, they do a lot of sales in December, right? And this is one thing to keep in mind, that in Q4 as well, we have the earning releases of these companies. And that's why around the earning releases, you will see a massive movement happening in the market. I'm talking about stock. I'm talking about stock market, right? Which somehow it has kind of some influence on the DXY, right? And therefore it has some influence on the Forex market. Yeah. So these are the things which I would like to say about December. Yeah. December and also first 2 weeks of January. Okay, now let's get back to charts. Yeah. So let's start with economic calendar, as I always like to. Okay, so if we look at this week already, like Monday, I mean, we had some CPI news on the Swiss franc. Yesterday, Tuesday, we had some news on Australian dollar and US dollar. Today, we had some news on Australian dollar, on British pound, and later on, I would say in 2 hours from now, we have some news on US dollar and then Canadian dollar. On Thursday, we have some news on the USD, and Friday, I would say the biggest news of this week is simply the non-farm payroll, right? So this is definitely a big thing. Let's look actually at the next week. So what we can see, next week is kind of quite busy week, so I would expect maybe that will be the final week of trading for this year. So we have some news on Australian dollar, GBP, USD, USD again, New Zealand dollar, Australian dollar, GBP, Euro, GBP, USD. So almost next week, that will be, how to say, the finale of this year. Yeah. Week after, almost nothing. I would say, just disconnect, don't do anything, Then here, Christmas, as you can see, almost bank holidays everywhere. And that's all. So simply this week and next week, I would say, are the final weeks for trading in this year. Yeah. Okay, now let's go to the DXY. At the beginning of this week, I did share with you guys, and I put on social media, that we have 3 scenarios for the DXY, right? Let me explain that. So here in general, we have lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and this is the last lower high on daily time frame, and then lower low. So as far as we could see that after this lower high, the price made lower low, so that confirms that this is lower high, right? If the price didn't make this lower low, so then we will be working on this one, right? So this is something very important to keep in mind, guys, that in order we can say in this scenario that we have a lower high, price must go and do a lower low. If the price didn't make a lower low, then we cannot call it as a lower high, okay? And then what I said, that we have a couple of scenarios. Price was, let's delete this one. Price was here yesterday, okay? And what I said, scenario number one, that the price will just drop straight away from here, right? Price was here, yeah? And then I said, okay, it might be price doing the lower low from here, lower high, I'm sorry, and then just dropping. Scenario number two, which I would say price is kind of doing right now, is the price to come, liquidate the last lower high, and then start to move to the downside, right? Scenario number three, that the price will come to simply liquidate the last lower high, break above this yellow level, come to retest, and then come to retest the 105 level, and then move lower if any. We need to keep in mind that this level, the 100.5, is a very strong level, okay, and kind of psychological level. As you can see here, resistance, price break above, came to retest support 1, 2, 3, and then price to move, started to move up, came to retest here again as support, and then started to move up. And so far price broke below this level and didn't come to retest at all as a resistance, which kind of leave a room that the price might come all the way up to this level to retest and then move to the downside, if any. And why I say if any? Because at the end of the day, as I always say, we work on scenarios. There is nothing 100% sure in the market. Yeah, this is one thing to keep in mind. So, as I said, here we have the lower high, the 4 hours time frame. So far, as I said, right now, we are working in two scenarios. That's why I said it will be better to make the video this week, today instead of yesterday. So yesterday we were talking about 3 scenarios. Right now we are working on 2 scenarios. And in this area, it's a very important area because, as I said, price just might come to break above this one, liquidate, and then move to the downside, or the price can simply come to retest the 105 and then move to the downside, if any, right? Personally, I would prefer if the price come to scenario number 3, which is price come here, retest, come here, and then move to the downside. If we want to be more specific, right? Which it's hard to do in, let's say, short term, but so far we can see that the price broke above this level here, which is 103.750. Maybe price will come to retest it, break above this level, retest, come here, and then start to move to the downside, if any. So far, this is what I'm looking for on the Dixie. If we look at this one, let's go to the 4 hours time frame. This is exactly what I said. And this level here, this gray area here, is the 105 level, which I was just showing on the other chart, right? And so far, as I said, price broke here, as we can see, a clear break. And since then, price didn't come to retest, which simply, as I said, leave a room open for the price to simply come and retest it, right? Okay. So I would say, as far as the price is here, I will not do anything because I need to see what will happen here. And I will start to act in the market only if price break above, come simply liquidate at this point, come to break below here, and then I will be waiting for a test to sell. This is scenario number 1. Or scenario number 2, if the price will come here, break above, retest, and from retest here I will be looking for short-term buy to this level here. These are the only 2 scenarios which I'm simply going to take any trades in the market. Other than that, I'm not going to do anything, right? So this is about the DXY, and as we know that whatever happens in the DXY, then you need to reverse it or to look at it from the other way around for any other currencies. I mean, any other currencies here, I'm talking about EURUSD, GBPUSD, and gold, right? So if dollar is going up, EURUSD, GBPUSD, and gold will go down, and vice versa. Let's go to gold. Let's go to gold. So if we look at this chart here, at the beginning of this week, actually literally at the beginning of this week in the Asia session, prices spiked massively, and they did go to reach the $2,150 level per ounce, right? But straight away, let's go to 1 hour time frame. So as we can see here, literally, as you can see on the bottom of the screen, it's Monday, 4th of December at midnight. In one candle, just price came here all the way up to $2,150 per ounce level, and then started to decline, yeah, which shows what I have been talking about. So you remember we had this gold trade, and I was always saying it's good to scale your profit all the way, right, when you are in the trade, and always leave like 5% of the original position just open, because you never know what the price will do, right? And imagine if you we just closed this position last week, because I didn't want you guys like to be exposed to swaps by the brokers. So we just closed it, but that just presents the idea here why I always say to leave like very small percentage of your position open, because you never know what the price will do. So if we look at the daily time frame, what happened here? Price came and on Monday all the way up, and then closed below this level, which is 2050. And this level, as we can see, it was already tested here, 1, 2, and then here we have 3. Price broke above, but then closed below again, right? So it shows that this level in general, the 2050 level, is a strong level. And one thing, if you remember guys, I have been always talking about it. Most of retail traders, when they see that we have this level here holding as a resistance, okay, what they do, they start to enter into sell trades in the market with a lot of stop losses in all this area here. There were a lot of stop losses here. Can you imagine? We talk about the daily time frame, and this level 2050 is holding as a resistance level since April this year. As you can see, since April this year, this is a strong resistance level. So you can imagine the amount of stop losses are above this level. And what usually Bryce like to do is, before the real move, Bryce comes to liquidate and collect all the stop losses. Here in this example, we talk about above this resistance level, but that applies for resistance and support, right? So the price comes to liquidate all this level, collect all the stop losses, and then move to the downside. Can you imagine how many stop losses were above this level? I would say it's a massive amount of stop losses, yeah, because everyone sees, okay, here we have like double top, perfect. Here we can see, this is like market psychology. This is like one thing which I always talk about. Like you see, what you can see here, bearish engulfing. What you can see here, like these 3 candles. What is this? This is simply evening star formation. Here is same story, doji, and then bearish engulfing, which engulfed this doji, right? So this is all signs of, okay, price tells you, hey, come here, just sell me. I'm showing you all these bearish engulfings, I'm showing you these evening stars, I'm showing you these dojis, just like everything you read in books, right? Come and sell me. And then you come, you just, okay, say, I'm going to sell from here. Let's say your stop loss, you say even, okay, here, this is if you want to have very wide stop loss, okay? What happened? Price, bang, come to collect all stop losses, and then just like, start to move to the downside if the price will move, at least for a short time, as we can see, right? So this is what the price does again and again and again. Okay, one thing to keep in mind as well, that this level here, the 2000 level, okay, price so far broke above here. Maybe right now price is coming to retest, okay, and maybe from here we will start to see the price to move to the upside, or simply if the price will break below, then we can see price come to retest and then start to move at least to this level, which might be the scenario. If we look at it, let me remove this. Why? Maybe we will have, okay, price will come maybe here, and then to make the right shoulder and then move to the downside, if any. Once again, I'm saying if any, right? It's all scenarios where simply we have to keep in mind, we have to be patient and let the market show its cards and like show its hands, okay? And then we take actions in the market, right? We don't have to, participate and make things so hard for ourselves and like, predict things which are hard to predict. Let the market just like, give it a time, and then we simply behave accordingly. Same story, let's go to the EURUSD. Remember guys, I shared with you guys, in the community, like we have three scenarios, right? I said first scenario that the price was here. I said first scenario that the price will simply come to retest and then move to the downside. Second scenario, price will just move to the downside, okay? And then I said third scenario that the price from here will go to make the higher high. And definitely, as we can see here, the price started to go to scenario number 2, which is price coming to the downside without, coming to retest this level. Which is why? Because we can see this level here at the 1.07500, as we can see, resistance, price break above, strong break above, and since then price didn't come to retest this level as support, right? And this is just exactly, if we go to the DXY, here, it's very similar to what happened here on the 105 level. Price broke below, didn't come to retest as resistance. Here, price break above, didn't come to retest as support. That's why we have this room open so far. If we go to the 4 hours time frame, obviously, let's go to this one here, this level here, chart. So as we can see on daily time frame, this chart, price making higher low, higher high, 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 higher low, and higher high. So this is the last higher low on daily time frame, as we can see. And what happened? Let me remove this. And what happened? Price broke the market structure. So price broke below this level, which means that at least for short period, at least price will be moving to the downside, at least for short or medium period, right? So this is one thing we need to keep in mind. Ideally, what will be great if price, as we can see here, like this is just like nothing. Okay, this is since like yesterday. Price simply just in this range, like as you can see. And you need to keep in mind, guys, EURUSD is one of the most, actually it's not one of the most, it's the most traded currency pairs in the world. And what you can see that so far we are just in this area here, like consolidating, waiting for the next move, right? And also what we can see on the 4 hours time frame is that the price already started to create lower high, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Maybe the price will come to simply make lower high, or why not to liquidate or create equal lower high, right? And then from here to simply, move to the downside, right? So this is one thing which I'm keeping in mind, right? This is one scenario which I will be waiting for if the price will come to simply create equal lower high. Then why not from here, not, why not to sell from here, let's say 30 pips stop loss, just as an example. And why not to somewhere here, why not, might be a valid one. But again, we have to cross check it with DXY, right? It's very, very, very important. And also if we look at this level here, you see cross charts, yeah. If we look at this level here on the right chart, this level here is this on the left chart here, this one, the 1.08750, right? Will the price come that far to retest it? Maybe, but at least for the short term, I will be waiting for this one at least, right? And then, as I said, from here to sell to this point, again, if the price will show that, right? At the end of the day, it's only scenarios we are discussing here. GBPUSD. It's actually very similar to EURUSD. If we look at it, it's very, very similar to EURUSD. Let's look at this one first. Yeah, so what we can see here, which is very clear, is that we have range. We are in a range. Okay. This is obvious that we are in range since Monday last week, 27th of November. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 days in the market, price in this range, and only yesterday price broke below this range. It's not the strongest break ever, but price broke. But what do we know about ranges, right? And I think we have this example from DXY for the people who were simply following my scenario. What do we know about ranges? Exactly, that ranges have fake outs. And if we see one fake out in one side, most probably there will be very same fake out to the other side in almost same size, right? This is one thing to keep in mind. So going back to simply GBPUSD here, so price broke below this range, and if we just mark it, okay, let's go to 4 hours time frame. If we just like mark it here, okay, if we just like do it like this, okay, and we say it is a fake out, okay, and just we take it copy paste and we put it to the upside. Maybe, and I'm saying maybe, price will come to create a fake out to the other side if this will prove that it's a fake out. Okay, how it can prove that it's a fake out is simply if the price from here will start to move to the upside. So at least if the price got back again to the range, we will wait for the retest, and then we can buy from here, aiming for the price to go there, and from here simply we can sell, but I wouldn't sell because we are in an uptrend. or even if I will sell, I will simply sell with, I don't know, a risk of 0.5% or 0.25%. Yeah, so this is one thing to keep in mind as well. Yeah, but it's good that we mark this fake out, we just leave it there, and we will look at it later on. Yeah, we see what will happen. Let's go to this chart here. Okay, so if we look at this chart, definitely we can see higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, etc., etc. And this is the last higher low. Okay, what I said about gold, here we have perfect double bottom. Okay, based on all books, based on everything, there are a lot of people buying here with a lot of stop losses just below this level. What the price did? Maybe price came to collect all these stop losses. Maybe the price just got, okay, I'm collecting all these stop losses and then I will move to the upside, if any, again, because maybe, yes, it's time for the price to simply, okay, just move to the downside. So that's why I'm saying right now, all what we have to do is just waiting, nothing else. We need to see if the price in this is going to close again or get back to the range again, then we will wait for the retest and then we can buy. Okay, if not, and price started to move to the downside, then we will be waiting for the price to simply come to liquidate this one and then maybe buy based also on the DXY. Yeah, so again, guys, you always need to keep yourself open to all scenarios in the market. What I'm also displaying here with this candle, like with this wick, right? You can see this one. It's a lot of liquidity above such candles. Like when people see such a candle with such a big wick, they say, oh my God, there is a big sell pressure from here. Yes, it can be true. But then also that opens a room that there is a lot of liquidity here, right? And that's why for me, if I'm going to sell, I need to see the price. I need to see the price simply to come here, liquidate this level, okay, and then wait for retest and then simply sell. Okay, this is also scenario, right, to keep in mind. But again, I will be waiting for the DXY and I will be waiting simply for the market to show me more, right? I need to wait and give the market time to show me more, right? Especially as I told you, we are in December and it's very manipulative and we need to keep that in mind. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's how to say, it's better to wait and not to lose money rather than just getting into the market and lose money, right? At the end of the day, you cannot win all the time. Being trader, it means that you win and lose, right? But at least we need to have more probability in our sides, right? Rather than just okay, having this, okay, I'm getting into this one and okay, maybe this will happen, maybe that will happen. And in that way, it's not a good thing, I would say. Yeah. And this is, believe me, the hardest thing in trading, which is waiting. You need to wait. Yeah. That's why they say patience is a virtue. So yeah, that's all, guys, for this video and for this week. And yeah, if you have any questions, please let me know and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks, guys.